guys, for my 550th special, we are reacting to JonTron Animorphs.
Every time I open
this is the video what brought me into Animorphs fandom. I want to say JonTron was in a controversy. I don't condone anything he said or anything he didn't say. I'm just trying to watch this because it's a good video.
But then I switched to pipe drive.
Literature for the youth, a staple of the American spirit going back decades upon decades. Whether you grew up with the Hardy Boys, the Goosebumps, or Captain Underpants, you know the profound effect these classics had on the course of our lives. But one series towers above the rest, one that to this day is still inspiring memes based on its iconic book covers, and that title goes to no other than Animorphs.
I never grew up on the books. I want you to know, I never even knew the books existed. I only knew about the TV show. So, I want it to be known that I only knew about TV show. Also, I want this to be known, I'm gonna say this after.
Face of it, it's easy to understand why it appealed to so many young readers. I mean, who doesn't want to become a freaking animal? And a cool one!
Yeah, I used to watch Animorphs for that reason, for it'd be cool to see the characters turn to an animal. But after, it was genuinely full of characters. The characters are really good.
Maybe, depending on which edition you had your hands on at the time. I don't know what to tell you. They burned through the good ones quick, I think. Mommy, I want to be that squid. Get me the squid one. From boy, we can become boy. Cow to alien. Alien to cow. Who knows? That didn't help.
Yeah, in the comics, in the books, Casey actually starts wearing skin-tight clothes and no shoes. It makes sense why I chose how to not adapt that storyline. How I would adapt the storyline is maybe make her wear tighter clothes and give her Crocs or sandals, but don't make it like this. It's just weird. Like, Cassie is meant to look normal, so she blends in. But you stick out, Cassie. Everyone else is wearing normal clothes. If you want to look different, just look different.
Either. But what kids initially thought was maybe just zoo books with a slightly better plot, they found was actually some kind of interstellar political drama between blue snail-eyed centaurs and pterodactyl men named Hork-Bajir. A little bit of a bait and switch, but, listen to me. It's about horror. It's about war. It's about imperialism, sanity, morality, innocence, leadership, freedom, family, monkeys, owls, bees. But that said, today we're not focusing necessarily on the books, but the acclaimed television series.
Seriously, it's a good show. I know I glaze Animorphs, but it's genuinely because I'm not even saying it to be funny anymore. I legitimately think it's a good show. Of course, it's up to opinion, but to me, Animorphs is a great show. One of my main likes from the series is that they were quite realistic. You don't see Jake saying, "Go Animorphs!" And yeah, that was a parody of Red Ranger saying, "Go Power Rangers." You don't see, you hear him mutter, "I'm an Animorph," in the theme song, but he's like, "I'm an Animorph! Yeah!" That's pretty cool, in my opinion.
Of the same name. I vaguely remember watching this when I was younger, and I remember liking it, I think, but it's been a really long time since I've seen it, so I figured today we should go down memory lane together and see how this thing holds up. Okay, you know the catchphrase. It's morphin' time!
Yeah, actually, I have to agree. I personally see a lot of similarities between Power Rangers and Animorphs, and don't get me outside, I woman.
You can now sell even more pre-loved items. Don't use it? Sell it.
My personal opinion, they're both very similar, but also very different, of course.
Uh-oh, I regret doing
that.
My name is Jake. Half an hour ago, I was just a regular kid. Not anymore. It's amazing how quickly your whole life can change.
Ouch. Where were you when you found out they could still charge for the late pizza? It doesn't get better, but it gets easier, kid.
Aren't you gonna see what's next?
So, of course, this show starts off where every kid's show from the 90s starts off, and that is in the games!
I have to admit, I actually kind of hate the game zone, because, it's so inaccurate and just such a weird place. But I also do like it. It's pretty cool. I like the game zone. Also, if you can't tell, it's based on PlayStation controls. Whereas with circle, the triangle, the square, and the X banner.
Zone. The sort of grown-up McDonald's play you always see on shows that was never to truly blossom into a real thing. And the story follows a group of teens: Jake, Marco, Cassie, Rachel, a dog, and...
Which, sadly, the show don't give him a name. His name is Homer. Like, you know, so much animal films are just like, oh, girl turns into a crocodile, girl turns into a cat. Yeah, like, I'm actually glad when I have the honor of at least calling the characters their names. And yeah, when a character doesn't have a name, I make up a name like Crazy Man or Old Woman. At least I try to think of something.
It's a bias, but he's a story for later.
That's not fair. You just got blown away. Homer, no!
Homer, no! Homer, no! Don't move the plot forward! See, that's a literary device we can hang on to. Coniteration, we call it. Can't think of anything for your characters to say? Just get the dog to get you out of there. Come on, boy! To the next scene!
Come on, boy, let's go!
What's up with him anyways?
I don't know. We gotta get him back.
By the way, that's a great night filter you got in front of the camera there. I couldn't tell that's not nighttime. You filmed that during the day?
I don't agree with John Tron. It actually looks like it's nighttime. Maybe it's just because this is nostalgic to me personally, but at 3 a.m. sometimes I couldn't sleep because I was scared I was, and I talked to my brother James, and it looked just like this. Because I was always afraid that in the corner of the room somebody could jump out and grab me. So I'm very nostalgic to scenes like this, so maybe it's just me, but I'm very nostalgic to this. To scenes like this, so that's why I personally can't take the scene. It reminds me of my own childhood.
What? I can't see anything!
I actually struggle seeing anything when I record these shows. Like, when I was trying to do all Homer moments, it was hard to see where he was because how dark it was. I know I'm glazing the scene, but it's just a good scene.
Is he not a normal dog with simple dog tastes? You don't think he wants a big corrugated metal sheet to slice some cat's face off?
Homer!
Let's go, boy.
Homer!
Over here. Come on, Homer.
We've looked everywhere. He's not here.
You've looked everywhere. You've been here for like 5 seconds. And let me guess, you didn't even check those towering rusty drums over there because you were afraid of, quote, mercury poisoning. Do you even want to find your dog?
Okay, I want to be truthful here. I actually really like this scene, how they walk through and it swaps POVs and all that stuff. That was really cool done. And also, in my opinion, one of my personal favorite things, yeah, it was a good episode 1 in my opinion.
Hey.
Thanks.
Sure.
I didn't do anything. I'm not helping you. I might actually be opposed to you. Chances are.
You're new around here, right?
You can't just point. I need to know. What?
Yeah, I kind of agree. Tobias was kind of a fuckboy. No hate to the actor, obviously. But he was kind of a fuckboy, yeah.
Why are you in a dark factory with my dog?
Look at that.
Too weird.
Honestly, that did catch my attention. You got me there. But we are coming back to this conversation, mister.
Rod, what do you feel about this? Quite funny, yeah?
Let's go. Well, I don't think so.
Yeah, like, even I thought Marco was a little too chill. I don't really like Post-Scream Life, and media is quite cringe, but I think it should have been Hera.
Understands her. She's right.
What the fuck? You're just gonna keep up your casual conversation during an actual active airship disaster? Debris is just flying all over you and your friends. You're stoic. You're fine. You're not bothered. Oh, that's...
Well, I thought Gendy Seeds are really making an ETP of JonTron in the first 2 episodes of Animorphs, and who knows, maybe you guys might want to see more of it. Animorphs.
a real shame. Yeah, that's going down. So what do we eat for lunch today, guys? Was it empanadas?
There's something coming out.
Oh no! It's a horse from space!
What is it?
I don't know, but it's definitely not from my hood.
What I hear is Marco thinks he's for the streets! Marco thinks he's for the streets!
Where exactly did you think I thought you lived? Is it the Andromeda Cluster? Because that's obviously from space, dude! I know it's not from your neighborhood! First of all, you live in Malibu, dude! Your dad
This could kill all my son's friends. So let me just tell him, as a man, just man up and admit, I'm your dad. I left you, I'm sorry, I wish I was better, but I'm your dad. But no, he pussied out and used a pre-recording or a spirit to talk, I don't really know what it was. But dude, my guy, you could have been a man and just told him, Tobias, I'm your father, I was wrong, I should have been a better dad, but now I see that your wife, she liked to act like this, she wasn't go back to any other human. Now, at the end of the day, all he had to do was just be honest. Yes, what if Tobias forgave him? Probably not, because he was a moody teenager. But then he would learn, when he gets back turned to human at the end of season 1, he would say sorry to you. Well, I just didn't really like this, because it didn't feel like, Prince Vanguard put everyone's life in risk, instead of just being a man and admitting, hey, I abandoned you. Like, some would even say he's a better dad than his own father. Because yes, he may have abandoned Tobias, but at least he didn't force him to always be strong and always battle and never grieve and always be angry, At least he actually tried to be nice.
Destination.
With Vinted's new categories, you can now sell even more pre-loved items. Don't use it, sell it.
Health insurance that lets you sleep easy.
Look, I know I was a bit of a big rant. I just always had that.
What an honor it is to be in the presence of a legend. This 3. Yes, I have taken one of your Andalite bodies as my host.
So anyways, it's a bit confusing, but basically, another blue alien comes out of the ship, but the twist is, this one is evil.
He's actually not evil. Was it just an innocent android who got a yerk in his head and became an innocent human? And, it's all a yerk. But in my opinion, one of my main complaints with Visser 3 is that he kind of treats yerks lower when other people, even though it should be the opposite way around. Like, he says humans are disgusting, but then treats humans better than yerks. It kind of feels like, in a way, they could have done this plot idea, with him actually preferring being a human over being a yerk, because a yerk is blind, deaf, and dumb. Oh, go.
And a shapeshifter.
You won't succeed, Before. There will be others!
Shells. Still shells.
Why did he bother coming down in the dude's blue centaur form if he was just going to immediately transform anyway?
Well, he probably would have broke a spaceship because how big he was. But second, you know what I hate? Animorphs' biggest tool is their stealthiness. And then he says, there will be others! He could have basically just been honest and say, those kids over there, we're gonna stop you! Like, if he's gonna rat the Animorphs out, at least be truthful about it. And some people would say, oh, what do you mean? This line isn't that bad. The Animorphs' biggest one-up against the Yerk in the show is the Yerks, all their stealth. And their own guardian almost rattled them out by saying there will be others. Thank God he interpreted that as Andalites and not humans, or the Animorphs would be fucked. Think about it. If Visser 3 saw those humans there and thought, what if he's talking about them? Like, one of my biggest complaints is that the whole show, they believe they're androids and not humans. One of my favorite arcs is that Visser 3 is like, wait, they're not androids? We've been killing so many humans. You're really telling me we haven't got them yet? That would have been really cool to see in the TV show. I even wanted to do my top 10 book arcs I would have liked to see in the show. If I do, I'm gonna have a couple of rules.
Anyways, does he just get off on that? He's like, hey bro, before I eat you, I just want you to look at your own abs. You must have put in some work, because you are a hot horse man.
What is that?
Now I'm gonna concur. What is that? Indeed, what is that? Is that supposed to be the same menacing alien we saw just cast a shadow a second?
My personal headcanon say he turned to 3 aliens. Android, Wat, and then this Finna.
Oh, the horns, the beak, it's all very imposing, but the sort of head on a string, bobblehead kind of thing, I don't know.
We'll see a hook to show later. I know it's far more accurate, so I really don't know what it could be. Maybe it was like a kid hook to show, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
Genuinely, when I saw it, chills. It's creepy.
That is clearly not the same monster from before. Why does he remind me of that clip of Beetlejuice where he's just like standing in his hotel room and he's like, me? Nothing.
Just prowling around. Genuinely. Chill. It's so creepy,
No, I'm just kidding. I saw you the whole time. I know. I'm terrible. Come here.
I need your help, Homer.
Homer, nobody likes this. Me least of all. But obviously the only way
Homer, nobody likes this.
of this situation is I need to become you. We need to be two separate dogs. Or else the situation with the Triceratops out there...
Not gonna work.
Come here, Sparky. I'm gonna need your DNA.
I love how Homer is like, nobody's taking my fucking DNA. Like, he's like, can I take your DNA? He's like, what the fuck? You know what I don't understand, though? Jake later becomes a different dog with Marco. Instead of, like, they all become unique dogs. The three boys that became dogs, because it was only the boys, were Jake, Marco, and Axel. But why didn't everyone just scan Homer? That's why I think Animorphs is cool, because each one has their own unique ones. That's why I think if we go an Animorph game, each one can be based off ideas. Like, we got Brute Force with Jake, Flight with Tobias, Flying with Swimming with Marco, and Aliens with Axel. I don't say all, but I do like the morphin effect.
The dog seems to have the right idea here. He's just like, dog-made horrors beyond my comprehension. So there we have it.
That sounds so creepy.
The first Animorph in the series.
They did the title.
I feel like this morph effect is like simultaneously terrible, but also like kind of good for a 90s kids show, you know what I mean? Not quite Michael Jackson black or white level.
I don't think it was ever bad in my opinion. Obviously if it goes from like that, but the Animorphs isn't meant to be super. That's why I said one of the things I'd want to do with Animorphs is make it like a super TV show if it be an instant. But I also know it'd be a fuck you Sorcerer's Tale, because Animorphs is meant to be kind of creepy. The morphs are meant to be slow. As the creator said, it doesn't hurt them, but if you look to the middle of the morphs, you would see an abomination. The whole point of morphs are meant to look like abominations. So I'm kind of glad we morphs weren't like 1 second. Later in the show, it did that, and I just felt like it kind of fuck you to Animorphs, because Animorphs, in my opinion, Animorphs is one of the scariest superhero kid shows ever made. I'm not even joking. I am not joking. I'll explain it when I actually I'll explain it one day, yeah.
But, you know, TVY 7 standards, pretty good.
I thought the effects was really good. I know I said it, but I forgot what it's over that round.
Straight to that pipe!
Get them! Did you find them?
No, sir! Just a couple of dogs!
You fool, they might be Andalites!
So, they escape the crash site as dogs, and then for some reason, Jake just goes on a highly paranoid walk through his neighborhood.
My name is Jake.
And I like to induce just a little bit of fear in my neighbors. Not enough for them to divert from what they're doing, but, you know, just enough for a little drop in the stomach.
I can't tell you my last name or where I live because the controllers are everywhere.
This dude was just walking to his car from his front door. He's just hanging a quick left. He's like, I gotta move. Goddamn crackheads in this town.
How you doing?
Now John's gonna judge him, but I don't agree. He really says he's taking a paranoid walk. So, what do you think, stranger? The kid going, how you doing, to someone doing the weird stuff, or the kid going, you know, around looking everywhere. I don't know. In my opinion, I personally think with kids saying hi to someone weird is less weird than that.
This is the guy you're fine with. You're like, oh, thank God, fine.
You know, a little birdie told me Animorphs was filmed in Canada. Canada is still in America, so it can work. It still works, but lots of fan base don't assume it's in Canada. So either, if I ever do videos on the show, because I want to do where it's set, I could go off the actual location being Canada, or, you know, since I talk about American films, find a state that looks similar.
You're like, oh, thank God, finally a normal person. The dude washing his car in a church parking lot with no soap or water, just scratching the paint off his car like a psychopath with a dry sponge. Jake, you're a terrible
judge of character, my dear boy. I feel bad for this poor woman now.
Nice day.
You are the chaos, okay? I don't know what to tell you. You're just beelining up to this lady's baby, mad dogging it, and being like, adequate day, fellow toddlers! Now, Jake, hear me out. I think I may have found your problem. I don't think it's that everyone around you has alien slugs in their brain, as much as it is that you're in the part of town where they openly slang Kingsway Baptist Church. Like I said, I'm not sure, but that might be a majority of your issue.
You know what I don't understand? Jake always... Every time the cops are there, Jake always assumes they have yerks in their head. Literally, every time we see the cops, they do some suspicious stuff like lock off the alien crash site. But how is that suspicious? I mean, like, I don't want to say it, but when September 11th happened, police boarded off the area so only firemen, you know, ambulance and cops can go in, and people that were helping. But the civilians weren't allowed in. That's basically what happened here. So of course, the cops are covering it, Jake. So I think Jake just stereotypes the cops. I think if I made a version of Animorphs, I would add this to Jake's character, maybe making him hate cops or not trust them. Like Batman saying, I don't deal with cops. And then they could say, like, I don't deal with London men.
Good luck seeing this guy, stupid cops. So, after completing his sneaking mission, Jake returns to an animal preserve where he and his friends have been hanging out, especially Tobias, who, let's just say, has been taking in the view. Sir, hi there. I just want to let you know we do have other animals at this facility, and you have been staring right at that horse for a socially unacceptable amount of time. Yeah, I will be getting staffed. Thank you. Okay.
That's Tobias. He just moved here.
Oh, he's new. Thank God you mentioned that. I thought he was just a pervert.
Hi, Aisha.
Hi. Hi, Marco.
Hi.
Wait, she has an actual name?
Just a pervert.
Hi, Aisha.
Hi.
Aisha, huh. Just gonna pause recording for a second. Speaking, don't quote me on this, but I don't think we see Cassie's Star Driver.
Hi. Hi, Marco.
Hi. It must be cool, you know, living on a preserve.
Well,
Even if it was, I'm not telling you.
That disc that Alfango tried to give you, do you have any idea where you might have dropped it? I didn't drop it. I never even touched it.
Felix! I brought dinner.
With the irresistible range of Felix.
Can I be truthful here, though? In my opinion, Animorphs, it has two main problems. Sometimes the show's too happy, and sometimes the show's too mean.
Had us in the first half. So yes, we find out that the most important item that the alien lobbed at Tobias earlier is indeed the most important item. So the kids set off to double back and find it again.
Great scene, but it's just sad knowing that.
Into the plant.
No, but we could go back as animals.
Animals.
Picture a load of this. Beaver, field grouse, alpaca, rhino, and starfish unite. They will see us coming. They won't know what to do.
Shouldn't we wait for Cassie?
Yeah, what's taking her so long anyway?
She better not flake.
Who you calling a flank?
Tobias is like,
She has like Gloria.
You mean this was Cassie the whole
sometimes.
time? She had a broken leg. Bless her heart. There was nothing we could have done. Oh,
Cassie.
Look, I say we forget it, we don't mention it, and we don't mourn. This isn't some dumb video game.
My mom's dead.
My mom's dead.
Dude, chill out. Stick to the script.
No one's asking you to risk your life right now. I mean, learning to morph might be the one thing that's gonna save your life.
Alright. But I get to choose which animal.
He doesn't even become the animal he uses. Small one, he becomes a rat. Rachel almost kills him and then uses a beat box, and in the whole show never becomes a rat besides to sneak into a movie theater. Which also is a terrible scene because it shows Jake. Everyone follows Jake's rule, like, even when Jake's not there, like, we must follow Jake's rule. Jake will Marco, I guess I can break my rule. Some people would be like, I judge the animorphs too hardly, but it's like when Batman dumped, you're meant to judge these characters too hardly. The animorphs aren't like chill heroes. It's not like Lego Batman where you don't worry about Robin's whole life. You worry about the animorphs' lives.
That was already established. You could, yeah. Go on then.
Maybe one of these. I always wanted a rat.
The rat.
I don't get why you'd want to be a rat. Oh, I'm gonna show you how loyal I am to your team by picking an animal that symbolizes being disgusting, traitorous, and genuinely just, in my opinion, a pretty bad animal. No hate to rat fans here, but the rats. I mean, the rats. What do you want me to say? The rats.
Rat. Yeah, the one you can get for $2 at Petco. Yeah.
What? Am I a rat?
I'd say you were a rat man.
I can't do it.
It's his attitude. I can't go the whole way. I can't do it. I can feel him smirking at me now. Get
Tobias, get a fucking gun off your face, Tobias.
Marco, are you in control?
The wheel is in control now, Jake.
Also, what I hate, episode 1 and 2 talks about control, but then they never bring it up again. One of my main complaints is, they don't talk about control, they don't talk about 2-hour limits as much, they don't talk about how long it would take. All the downsides of being an animorph is there. Like, I had this question, who would win in a fight? Beast Boy versus all animorphs? And even though it's more, I would say Beast Boy would wipe the floor with them, because he has way more control. After 2 hours, they're gonna have to run away. He could keep the fight going. Now, obviously if he becomes a gorilla, they could just all become gorillas. Let's say they became their main animal each. I think they could kill Beast Boy, but he could become demons, aliens, dinosaurs. He could become way more stuff when, the animorphs can. And even though the animorphs can become aliens.
The man is unburdened by thought. Only. And forever. The wheel!
Alright. We've all done it.
Hold on. Tobias hasn't.
I forgot about Tobias. Sorry, Tobias.
Yeah, he went that way with a smirk and a box of nitrile gloves. You gotta go now.
Tobias! Hey, Tobias!
What could we have done?
Dude, we can't take you anywhere. What are you doing behind that tree? Anyways, now it's time for the final fight. Now you would think with all that setup.
One of the main things that made this scene scary. Now, yes, we find out by Tobias' POV he was going for some soul searching. But remember, controllers are everywhere, and, Jake is very terrified of them. So this guy goes missing, while there's controllers everywhere. What is Jake meant to assume? This guy's a butt fucking traitor. I would even have liked to see Jake, yelling and maybe saying, what were you doing? Like, yeah, he saves them, but I'd like to see Jake be naturally angry, being like, why the fuck did you leave us? We thought you cowards away, you traitor. This guy almost ruined the mission because of the soul-searching adventure.
With the aliens and the parasites and the Mighty Morphin Animal Rangers, something more interesting would happen, but no, the dog just digs like a good boy. The cat just stands there menacingly. But at least Marco brings out his boombox and plays Scatman John for everybody, so it could be worse.
Of course,
Tobias has to do this and ruin it by becoming that, by doing this.
It is funny. Don't get me wrong. It's just why, yeah.
God damn it, man, why can't you just be normal?
Normal, Tobias!
That's it. After seeing that showing, clearly I gotta take matters into my own hands. I'm touching the
No,
cube.
please, no. There's a saying that to become the Animorphs, you need at least a lifetime of training.
Damn it,
And that's
man, why
in the
can't you
bare
just be
minimum.
normal? That's it. After seeing that showing, clearly I gotta take matters into my own hands.
What do you think's gonna happen to him?
I'm touching the cube. I fucked up. I fucked up, man. Oh no, I fucked up.
He fucked up, guys. He fucked up. No. That's actually what happened to him after. Well, guys, thank you for. Well, no, thank you, but it's good to be on my 550th video. It's good to do an Animorphs content again. I will be going back to Animorphs all soon, so don't worry. But I hope you guys know, I'm glad that I'm going back with reactions, because I do want to react to some Animorph contents, like Darkest Moments from each book, Animorphs Iceberg, because I don't really react to any Animorph stuff besides reviewing the TV show. So, bye-bye, guys.